Welcome back to Bombastic Nation and Ting and Ting and Ting. I'm Mr. Giant and I'm back with some more vibes for all you, and we are continuing with the Heritage Minutes. The Heritage Minutes, that's the short minute long clips of Canadian history. I've been enjoying those so far. Hope you guys are enjoying watching them with me and Ting. But this one here is called A Rural Teacher, and we're going to go from there and go through them, a few of them. Let's YouTube and simmer.
You must understand, young woman. You work for us and not the other way around.
But you would like to tell me how I must go about teaching the children to read.
I've told you what it is we want you to do, and that's enough.
Please, Mr. Clarence, would you take a look at this?
You'll not bother me with that.
But you see, sir, your son read this to them. It is quite a difficult passage. It is from the Bible. This is what I use to teach him to read.
Ah, Mr. Clarence, why don't you just read it then?
Both of you know I cannot read a word.
Throughout most of our history, millions of Canadians have owed their education to young women who taught in one-room schoolhouses, much like this one.
And isn't it crazy how in the past, for say, and actually it's not in the far past neither, where men would say, "Oh, woman, be quiet," and she'd be quiet and take. There's progression in some things, you know what I mean? That things are getting more equal and stuff like that. I just never understood why one grown up would want to control another grown up. Why have one mind in the house when you could have two, making things even better? And everybody could chip in and help and take. It's not like we're not human and we can't communicate and understand the common goal here. I'm not talking about relationship wise, you know what I mean? I don't see why one have to be the and the other one have to be the docile one. There's two people in the house, man. You know what I mean? Two people with two brilliant minds, and they could both do it all. Just have to find that continuity among themselves as in a relationship. Anyway, I'm going on too much. Let's go on with the next one here coming up.
What do you expect?
And I say we'll use standard gauge, standard steel rails, and iron bridges from the intercolonial.
Nonsense.
We're not just building a railroad, gentlemen. We are building a country.
Patriotic rubbish.
I don't know if we can just stop that. Aye, attaboy. Come on, Roberts. And Roberts, look at this, huh? Between Halifax and Toronto, there are 5 different time zones. It's ridiculous. With the railway and the electric telegraph, what the world really needs is a system of standard time zones.
Sir, cities set their own time by the sun. They never agree.
So I'll have to make them, Roberts. Make them understand. Even if it takes years.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sanford Fleming of Canada, to whom the world owes the invention of standard time. Mr. Fleming.
He surveyed and engineered 4 Canadian railways and transformed the world with standard time. Sanford Fleming, engineer.
Wow. Did not know that one. Did not know that one. I have a question. Watching that there, it seems to be back in the time of the gunslingers and stuff like that. I've never heard of a Canadian gunfighter or anything like that. I wonder if the Wild West there mirrored the one here, you know what I mean? Now I know a little bit of how the native tribes were treated and stuff like that, which was kind of similar to here, but the actual life and stuff, where they're like, outlaws and marauders and stuff riding through the Wild West like here, I know it was different for the island. I just wondered. Let's go into this one, Saudi. Let's see what this one's about. Comment down below.
Everywhere.
In the 1890s, a wave of European immigrants arrived on the Canadian prairies. Eat. It's good.
Anna, is this your baby? You all right?
Janek, Mrs. Kovac, she has tar pepper on the roof.
One day we have tar paper also.
Many built their first house from the same earth that would grow their bread. They called it a soddy.
You see how they work together there? I guess situations makes people have to work together, and then maybe that's the reason why people stayed together longer back then. Or some could say it's because the dominance of the man is what made it stay together back then. Or maybe it could be a combination of both, but you know, they work together, build something, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep going here. The midwife is coming up next.
Plus, if the baby would be here by nightfall.
Amy, don't worry. We're going as fast as we can. I promised your mother that
We'll never get there!
Will, calm down.
I can't go on anymore. I'm tired.
You made it all the way to my house on foot to get me, right? It's only another mile. One more time. Push.
She's pregnant.
Girl. One more time. Push.
Until well into this century, most of us Canadians were born where we lived, and the only professional hand guiding our arrival in the world was theirs, the midwife.
You know, that's interesting there with the midwife one here. It really is. It's really interesting because on the island where I'm from, all of us were born by midwives. We never went to a hospital or anything, you know. We were born in the house that we were, where my mom was living at the time, you know what I mean? We were born in that house there, you know. I don't hear much about midwives anymore. I guess some people still use them, but not where I am because it was, I guess, really prevalent around here. But let's keep going with the next one. It's called basketball. And let me see what I'm gonna learn here about basketball.
Is this some kind of Canadian joke, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but we can't carry the ball. How can we get a decent shot at the beach basket?
All right. Maybe we can't allow a carry of a couple of steps.
And Mr. Naismith, sir, it sure slows things down having to climb up here every time.
Well, then let's cut the bottom out of the basket.
I need these baskets back.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
See, I didn't know this here per se. I mean, I didn't really know where basketball originated. But that show is interesting to know. I mean, before I kind of know about Naismith, but I didn't know that he was Canadian. Interesting to know. Sam Steele.
Oh, he sits there in his red coat all spit and polished. And he says,
Where would you be going?
I'm going to the Klondike to look at your gold fields, if there really is any.
Not with this gambling gear and those revolvers. Men don't wear pistols in Canada.
Canada be damned, I'm going to the Klondike.
The Klondike is Canada. Pack those pistols in your saddlebags or get back to U.S. territory.
I'm an American. You can't do this to me.
In that case, I'll be lenient. We'll keep this gambling gear and you'll be back in the United States by sundown.
Wow.
I could have shot that guy right there. Who was he anyway?
Superintendent Sam Steele, of the Northwest Mounted Police.
Why didn't I shoot him?
In the days of the gold rush, a policeman, Sam Steele, became a legend of the Klondike.
Sam Steele. I'm gonna have to look this guy up some, you know what I mean? I enjoyed this few here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them with me. Listen, man, y'all take care of each other out there, alright? Cool runnings.